Now imagine being one of the best players in the NBA, signing a huge contract, and still getting caught in secret side deals that could cost your team millions and future draft picks. That right now is the story with Kawhi Leonard and the LA Clippers. Today we're going to be unpacking what really happened in this alleged $28 million deal, how this ties to one of the biggest NBA trade scandals ever and the Joe Smith case in 2000, what penalties could the Clippers possibly face if proven guilty, and why this is absolutely devastating for the Clippers, who are already the NBA's oldest team. And of course, I'll wrap it all up with key lessons we can actually learn from this whole situation. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Stacked and Grounded, and in this video I'm gonna make it really easy to understand what's going on with this Kawhi Leonard situation. So we're gonna get into it. You see, Kawhi Leonard joined the Clippers back in 2019 after winning a championship with the Raptors. He signed a massive contract over $176 million. But recently reports surfaced that Kawhi also got $28 million through a no-show job with Aspiration, an environmental finance startup that the Clippers owner Steve Ballmer invested heavily in. You see, this is all linked back to Kawhi Leonard because these funds are being paid to his LLC, KL2 Aspire, yet Kawhi never performed any public promotional work for them. And see, there were other celebrities that were actually paid to perform public promotional work, like Robert Downey Jr., Orlando Bloom, and Leonardo DiCaprio. But from Kawhi Leonard, it's been radio silent. I'm going to play y'all a brief clip of Pablo Torre. He was the one who actually brought this information to light from his podcast. So I think that some of this information will be best heard from the horse's mouth.
What we know is that NBA executives were suspicious of how Steve Ballmer's Clippers landed the most valuable free agent on the market, Kawhi Leonard. That the NBA did not find that Ballmer got Kawhi by sweetening their offer. But also that in March 2025, this celebrity-endorsed, multi-billion-dollar, allegedly fraudulent tree brokerage named Aspiration, which promises to clear your conscience and your emissions, they filed for bankruptcy. And this is where the clue is. What David's looking at with his glasses on is a bankruptcy filing, and there's a list of creditors. The entities to which Aspiration, in all of their alleged fraudulence, still owes the most money. And what I noticed is what David is noticing right now, which is that on that list of creditors, up near the top, above the Boston Red Sox, is an LLC, a tiny little company that Aspiration owes $7 million. And that LLC's name, David, is what?
KL2 Aspire LLC.
And what does it list there under manager or member name?
Kawhi Leonard,
Whose NBA jersey number, just to connect all of the dots here, happens to be what?
number 2.
So then the question is, the Aspire part of KL2 Aspire LLC, right? Because, okay, he's getting all this money, millions of dollars. What I started doing was scour the internet for any mentions of Aspiration. Any appearances, tweets, quotes, Instagram posts, anything by Kawhi Leonard endorsing Aspiration. And this was hard to find, which also might seem weird, right? Because every other celebrity Aspiration gave money to was well known. There was Drake offering a statement to Rolling Stone. There was Doc Rivers, Kawhi's own head coach. Robert Downey Jr. was cutting his commercial. That was the whole point of paying the A-list Avengers. But the grand total number of times that I found Kawhi Leonard ever publicly referencing Aspiration, 0 times.
Right.
Kawhi Leonard mentioned Aspiration.
If this is true, that is a huge violation of the NBA salary cap rules, because the league has strict systems in place to keep the competition fair. Now, this isn't the first time we've seen something like this. Let's go back to the year 2000 and talk about Joe Smith and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Smith was a talented forward and a former number 1 overall pick. And in 1999, he signed with the Timberwolves. But instead of just signing his normal contract, the team made secret agreements with him. Smith would sign below market deals for 3 years. Then he'd be rewarded later with a huge long-term contract outside of the NBA salary cap rules. This was exposed in the year 2000 and the punishment was brutal. The Timberwolves were fined $3.5 million and stripped of 5 first-round draft picks. That's the most severe penalty the NBA has ever handed out for salary cap circumvention. Now think about the impact. Those picks could have built around a young Kevin Garnett who was just entering his prime. Losing those picks robbed the Wolves of years of growth and set the franchise back a decade. So some of those picks were eventually given back later, but the damage was already done. Who knows how far that team could have gone if they hadn't cheated the system. And see, that's why this Kawhi situation feels so serious. If the league comes down hard, history might repeat itself, and this time it's with the Clippers. So what happens if the NBA finds the Clippers guilty for this? Based on the Joe Smith case, here's what they could be facing. Multiple million-dollar fines, loss of multiple first-round draft picks, and possibly even voided contracts or suspensions. And remember, this team is already super old. Losing future draft picks like this doesn't just hurt, but it can really cripple them. No, for real, the Clippers right now are the oldest roster in the entire league. They got Kawhi Leonard, they got James Harden, and now they even got Chris Paul. These are all aging stars with many with injury histories. Now, if you strip away their draft picks right now, how do they even rebuild? They can't. You see, that's why these penalties would hurt way worse than just a fine. A fine is money, and Steve Ballmer is already worth millions. He can pay that. But the draft picks, that's the future of the franchise. And just like Kevin Garnett suffered with the Wolves back in 2000, Clippers fans could be stuck with years of mediocrity if the NBA lowers the hammer. Real quick, I'm gonna make this just a little bit lighthearted. I was reading a comment under the YouTube channel Rusty Buckets that was going over the situation. The funniest comment I seen from that. Somebody said they gonna make him play all 82 games as punishment. You see, that's hilarious because Kawhi is already famous for load management. I'm not gonna do the research on that, but I really couldn't tell you when the last time it was that he played a full season. The idea of forcing him to play every game as punishment is both ridiculous and fitting at the same time. The NBA community can be cruel, but they're not wrong. Now really quickly, I'm gonna go over the NBA salary cap and tell you exactly how it works. As of 2024 to 2025, it's roughly $146 million. Teams can exceed that, but they have to pay a luxury tax if they go past it. As of 2023 through 24, under the new CBA, there is a second tax apron. If you exceed it, your roster moves get limited. It's designed so that one team can't hoard all of the stars. This is essentially put in place so that team owners can't just pay to play. So teams try their absolute best to not go past that. But sneaking this deal through a shell company is exactly how the rules get bent. That doesn't sit well with the league or the fans. This is like the 2016 Warriors all over again. But see, luckily they were actually able to get a championship out of the deal. What had the Clippers got? All they have to show is just the new Intuit Dome. No championships. So essentially they just broke the rules and probably messed up their entire franchise for no reason. And what's even crazier is that they ended up trading Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for Paul George. This was when he was a rookie. Look, hindsight is definitely 20/20 in this situation because Shai ended up becoming this year's MVP, and he also won the chip in 2025 with the Oklahoma City Thunder. Man, y'all gotta be looking at yourselves crazy after this. But what does this actually teach us? What can we learn from this? Number one is that you can take from this that all money is not good money. If there is shady legality behind it, then the headache is not worth the payout. The second thing we could take from this is that actions in the dark always come to light. Solid teams and reputations crumble when hidden deals emerge. And the third lesson is that trust can get broken. Whether it's the fans or future teammates, you see, doing things like this can absolutely crumble your reputation. Now everyone who loves you from your 2019 championship with the Raptors is now looking at you crazy.
Come on now, dawg. Come on, man.
Look, as a fan, I still do admire Kawhi on the court. But off it though, this just looks bad. That's the entire story so far. Kawhi Leonard's secret $28 million deal is brand new, yet it's already shaking the roster and league. If there are any updates on this, I'll definitely bring them to you guys. And a final question for y'all: should Kawhi and the Clippers face serious penalties like voided contracts or draft pick losses? Or is this just a small off-court business? Please let me know what y'all think in the comments below. And once again, my name is Stacked and Grounded. If you enjoyed this video or took something from it, please leave a like and a comment below. And please subscribe to the channel as well. I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one. Let's build, y'all.